Hi guys, sorry, I didn't realize I was recording already. So I'm excited to be doing my video outside today. I don't know if you can see my wonderful water view back there, but I'm actually sort of working and sort of enjoying some self-care time at the same time while enjoying doing my schoolwork. So today I was going to talk about mandated reporting a little bit because it came up in somebody's video last week a little bit. So for the purposes of my placement, I talked about it with my supervisor when we first started regarding, if I had any concerns about mandated reporting, that I would come to her and we would discuss it, and then we would go from there, and I would make sure that I did it as soon as possible, so that way we followed the guidelines and made sure we got our report in as soon as possible to make sure everyone was safe. So in my placement, I've had 2 conversations now with 2 different paraprofessionals, because I'm in a school, regarding mandated reporting and, making sure that people understand what it means and what things we have to report. So the first one came up about one of the kids that are working in our program with us, and sort of the challenges around this kid in that he is of a very strong Chinese background, and they have very strong cultural beliefs. So when it comes to the school or anybody talking to him about things that go against their beliefs, I think people have a hard time sort of understanding what avenues to take with the family to make sure that the kid's getting his needs met. And just to add in there, I do think the school is doing a great job at, doing their research and understanding the Chinese culture in order to have these needs met. But so the paraprofessional and I were talking a little bit about him, and that I guess at one point he had some sort of a medical issue going on, and granted this was also several years ago, so I don't want anyone to think this is a current, event. And the concern, I guess, was that, was his family seeking proper medical care for him because he was missing some school time because of this, and also while wanting to respect their Chinese culture and maybe not necessarily believing so much in our American modern medicine ways. So when this came up, I said to the paraprofessional, were you the one working with him at the time? And she said, no, I wasn't. But I know that para in particular, and I know that she did talk to the family and the school to make sure that he was, properly taken care of. And so to me, that felt like a pretty good conversation. I'm not going to lie, when the conversation first started, I was a little concerned that she didn't fully understand her role as a mandated reporter. So the other situation that came up was actually today, which is actually really nice. Another paraprofessional he's very young, we had a conversation about the fact that he had gone shopping with his own family and his little girls, and something happened while in the store where he was concerned about another child. He said that the child had thrown up, and his daughter asked why, and the mother of this other child made the comment that, oh, she bumped her head, so she might not be feeling so well. Maybe she has a concussion. And he said to me that he didn't really understand, is my role still as a mandated reporter to make that phone call? Am I overstepping my bounds because I'm not in the school at the time? But technically I'm still a paraprofessional and I do work with children. Do you know what the laws are? And I did explain to him that, yes, in that situation, even though you're technically not in your role, you still as a mandated reporter should, do what's best for that child. So yes, even though you're not in the school system and you're not, in your role at that very moment, you're still responsible as a mandated reporter to make sure that every child's being taken care of, as best as they possibly can be. And if you know that something's happening, that you're telling the right people to make sure that child's not going home to a dangerous situation. So that felt good because he felt receptive to it, and it's something that I'm gonna make sure I speak with my supervisor about it, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. And she talked about the fact that maybe they need to have some refresher trainings on things such as this, because everyone gets so busy with the hubbub of school and whatnot, and making sure they're doing all the right stuff, especially the end of the year. So anyway, so it was a good conversation. I feel like I was able to help educate him a little bit on his role as a mandated reporter. So my question to you guys is, Has anything like this ever come up for you, and that you were able to educate somebody a little bit and make sure they had a refresher on maybe what their role is as a mandated reporter? And how did you handle it? Did it feel good? Did you feel nervous? You know, anything like that? Any concerns? And yeah, I'm gonna go back to enjoying the outdoor weather. Bye, guys.